Hi everyone, this is Saurabh, and today I have thought to create a one video on the test planning, which is being asked as a Amazon interview question as a first round. Okay, so in the first round, as I discussed earlier, the first round will be test planning and debugging. So in that round particular, they will be grilling you on the ability of whether you can design a particular test plan or not. Before starting, I would like to mention that in Amazon, actually, whenever you will be joining a role as a QA, you will be taking the ownership of the testing. So in those particular role, if you're joining as a QA 2 or a QA engineer, then might possible that if you have 4 years of experience or 5 years of experience, you might be asked to design a test plan, writing the test cases as well. So to consider this thought, they have put one round as a test plan round in the first round of interview of Amazon QA interview. Okay, so let's begin with the basic high level test plan, what exactly it is, without wasting any time. So test plan might be different from organization to organization. So what you need to provide a basic high level idea of the how it will look like when you will be asked a question like, suppose there is a website, we are adding a new feature, write a test plan of it. So the question can be very generic, and for example, we are adding a payment gateway, and you need to create a test plan for it. Maybe any pre-existing functionality is there, you need something addition of it and write a test plan of it, or there is altogether a new functionality, you need to write a test plan of it. Okay, so how to tackle these kind of questions? Many a times you, as a QA engineer or test engineer, you do not know like what exactly is the test plan, because quite many startups do not follow star test plan activities, and they directly jump onto testing. So people are not sure what exactly I need to tell in this test plan. Okay, so I have created one document actually to demonstrate what are the bullet points. So you do not need to cram or to get into those that much details into the test plan. Just basically remember all the 13 to 14 points which are necessary for every kind of test plan. So if you are aware of these 13 to 14, what you can do is, prior to your Amazon QA round, what you can do is you can write those bullet points in a copy or pen, and practice more and more. Have those all points on your fingertips so that you won't hesitate at the time of your interview while you're delivering the answer of this question. All right, so let's start with the test plan. So I have written this a document to demonstrate all the bullet points on which you have to speak at the time of interview. So whenever the question is being asked to you, okay, create a test plan or something, write a test plan for any of the particular feature, any of the uh, maybe any scenario, right, this is the website actually which is quite being helpful for Amazon QA interview questions. So you can also refer Tech Beamer's Amazon Quality Excellence in interview guide. So here actually this is very much helpful. So you cannot afford to skip this website before going to the QA interview for Amazon. Okay, so here everything is written. So you will find the questions like, create a test plans of the below use case, find first time launch of the website of the Sell Digital Books. Okay, these kind of test plans they will be asking. You can find a number of questions. Assume it has two categories of products of each, so something like that. They will give you a scenario on which you need to write a test plan. So test plan is a document in which you will mention how you carry out your whole testing throughout, because you will be a owner. Suppose I have given something to test, and you are the test engineer. So as a customer, I'm giving you a requirement. Okay, test something like this. This is the scenario. Then this is your job, that how you carry out your testing, all right from the requirement analysis till the time you are signing off on that feature, right? So as I showed you, so this is the document which will be helpful for you. Just cram all these points nothing else. Okay, so let me discuss about these points. Objective. So first of all, what will this will be heading basically in the test plan document. What is the objective? Why are you writing this particular test plan? So maybe you can demonstrate like onto 3 to 4 lines at the time of interview. Suppose you are adding a payment gateway or something like a new feature to website, so you can write this particular feature is going to be an inclusion of the existing website, and what how it is the benefiting the existing business or the customer, something like that. This depends, okay, how you're going to write, right? So scope. So in the scope I would like to mention like what you will be testing in this particular test plan. So test plan might be frequently changed test plan, which you will be updating sprint by sprint, or this might be possible that test plan you are referring for the whole quarter, right? So it depends on the organization, depends on the need, you will create a test plan accordingly. So if I talk about a scope, as I stated earlier, scope is something what you are going to test in this particular test plan, or what you are keeping, not what to test, what not to test, basically as simple as that. So if I talk about something like that, then consider example like you are adding a payment method in your existing website, right? So you will not test the terms and conditions page, okay, or you will probably not do automation if it's the first time creation of a website, right? It is a new website which is going to create, and also you will not add the automation because the first build of the your whole project will be very unstable, and we know like we do not do automation for the unstable things, right? So you can keep it aside. So in scope you can mention automation will not be in the scope. In the third thing you can mention like performance testing will not be a part of this particular test plan, because performance testing we do when the application is stable, okay. And so if you have, you're creating the website or something is very new, probably for 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.3 builds, your performance testing will not be a part of these particular releases, right? So this you can explain to them, okay. And depends on your scenario, whatever scenario you get, this is the high level bullet points only. So you can speak on these kind of headings, right? So what kind of test strategy? So this is also the third major points on which you have to speak, what kind of test strategy you will be following. So what kind of testing you will do, for example functional testing you will do, okay. You will do the basically the integration testing you will do, system testing you will do, okay. User acceptance testing do, okay. So you need to create a particular test scenario and test cases inside this particular heading, okay. So test scenario will be, I know I hope you are clear between the difference between the test scenario and the test cases. So let me quickly tell you, test scenario is basically a high level of the module which you're going to test, and test cases are the one level down. For example, test the login module, okay. So this will be test the login scenario, this will be the test scenario, testing the login module. But if you are talking about the test cases, the test cases might be wrong username, wrong password, correct username, correct password, checking on different network speeds when the Wi-Fi is not available, so kind of passwords encryption, different kind of passwords, okay. So these kind of permutations, combinations happens when we talk about the test cases under a different, under a particular test scenario, right? The fourth point will be test methodology. So whenever you are designing your test plan, you need to tell this thing to your manager or to your colleagues or with whom you want to share this particular test plan, is like which kind of test methodology you will be following, whether you're working on a sprint with a Kanban, and how, what kind of project it will be. So you need to define each and every minute thing in this particular test plan, right? So fifth point is assumptions. In assumptions, what you basically mention is what assumptions you are making. For example, if there are a lot many situations where assumptions will come into picture. For example, when you will provide a sign off, when 80% of test cases are passed, no critical sub bugs has remained in your application, okay. And lot many things are there which you can make assumptions of it, okay. What if risk comes, what we will do as the next step, Okay, so that kind of assumptions you can make. Sixth point is risk and mitigations. So for every kind of testing, the risk is involved, right? So if there are ways that risk is occurring, then there should be a ways how we can mitigate it in a testing process. So if suppose there are 5 members in a team, one of the members switch the team, okay, and the modules on which particular person was working, so that will be a risk for the team, because that guy was working and suddenly he or she left the team. So there will be a something backup plans for which we can mitigate this risk, okay. And more you can talk about something like that, okay. There will be environments in the testing, right? So for example, test like sandboxes. So there will be a test sandbox, okay. Like in any type of organization, there are less test environment will be there. For example, test.salesforce.com, or any sandbox, QA sandbox, something like that is there. So if that particular sandbox is down, what you will do, okay, so you need to have some mitigation, if you need to have some backup plans for that as well. Okay, seventh point is very important on automation. So depends on your scenario whether you want to go for automation for this particular test plan or not, okay. As I discussed earlier, if it is a newly functionality, then we can say, okay, this is, we do not want to do automation and it is out of scope, as a second point we will mention, right? So in automation we will be mentioning all these things, what kind of framework we will be using. If your scenario allows these kind of thing, then you will be go one step down into the automation, what kind of framework you're selecting, what how, what kind of language you will be selecting, either C Sharp, Java, C++, or as a tool you will be selecting as a Selenium or something like that, or automation, what kind of automation it will be, okay. And who will be working on that kind of basically these kind of activities you will be telling to the interviewer. Second, the next point is, eighth point is defects. So defect is something which is very important, like while you are doing testing, of course the defect will occur, okay. So in this defects, basically you have to tell to interviewer, okay, what kind of tool we are going to use. So in every testing, they like what kind of defect management tool you are using. This could be a Bugzilla, this could be your Jira, this could be your Rally, this could be your anything tools in the market. Variety of tools are available. So, and how your defect life cycle it should be, if there are any customized field in a Jira, so that kind of whole process kind of would be written under this defect section, okay. So all what will be defect life cycle you will be basically following, okay. So and what kind of strategy we will be following under defect, or for example QA is the defect, okay. Then to whom it will be assigned, the process basically will be mentioned here. Enter and exit criteria, this is basically a very important point, as in ninth point I have mentioned in my test planning document. So entry criteria is something when we actually start our testing, exit criteria is when we actually stop our testing, okay. So for example, in a testing process you are doing the basically suppose integration testing, right? So how we will start integration testing, when your or unit testing say, or not a component testing, say smoke testing, right? So like a very basic I should start like a smoke testing. So what will be the entry criteria of the smoke testing? So consider a thought, like a developer gave a build to you, okay. Then what will be the minimum criteria you will choose to actually perform testing over it? So the entry criteria will be, the environment should be up, the build should be stable enough, okay. And all the all that test cases should be written, all the test cases should be approved, something like that, okay. Then you can actually start your smoke testing, okay. So that kind of the entry criteria will be for this particular um, component testing or smoke testing. Exit criteria will be the entry criteria of the integration testing, which comes next to the component testing or smoke testing. So whenever we test as a applications integration testing, so what will be the entry criteria? So your component testing should be done, okay. Majorly of the test cases should be passed, environment should be run up and running, and these kind of things you can like create any number of scenarios. Just you need to provide some idea that about these kind of points, and you can speak on to. So you can create your own entry and exit criteria as per your scenario, whatever the requirement is being given from the interviewer to you. Okay. 10th point is tools and technology. So what kind of tools and tech you will be using while carrying out this testing? As I stated earlier, if it's a Windows based application, what kind of tools is needed? Maybe for example automation, what you're going to use. Okay, Vinium, or and if it's a web based application, Selenium, or if it is a Angular, then any Protector or Cypress, what kind of tools and technology you are using. Or you can also mention this kind of point here is as if we are testing something, whether we are skilled enough in the team or we need trainings for that particular mm, uh, tool to be used as a testing tool, right? So that we can also mention here. Soft hardware and software requirement is kind of tools and technologies related. What we will be actually needing to carry out our testing. Okay, to just because what kind of softwares like Jira you need, license you need, Rally license you need, or you need for training you need lynda.com access or LinkedIn learning access, something like. For hardware you can say like the simulator you needed, or there are some EBT units are needed, or kind of high configuration laptops are needed for the team. So that kind of stuff is coming here. Test cycles, you can mention test cycles will like this, like in a test plan, when you will starting your testing, when you finish your writing your test cases, when you started your component testing, when you started your smoke testing. Okay, when you end up writing testing your system as and your software as a system testing, and when you actually complete the UAT. Okay, and when you actually finished your testing. So all these should be document. These things will be priorly decide when you started actually execution of your test plan. So all the dates and everything would be mentioned in this test plan document well in advance, right? So the 14th point will be test environments. So in environments, as I stated earlier, environments could be your QA environment, different sandboxes basically. So uh, like uh, like UAT environment, beta environments, sandbox. So what kind of environment we have and on which we will be doing a testing. Okay, so that kind of points you can mention here. Deliverables, after creating after execution of this particular test plan, what will be the deliverable after carrying out all the testing activities? What we will deliver as a output of this test plan. So deliverables might be your sign off report and your release notes basically. So have you seen ever like in a play stores, so there will be a kind of a written okay, these many fixes we have done in this particular build, something like that. So those are release notes basically. So you can mention this thing as well in your test plan document, that what actually the customer is going to get after this particular this test plan is executed. Okay, so these are the points on which you have to speak. Okay, and apart from it, I don't think in a 30 minute of 30 minute of test planning question discussion, uh, you will be good enough when you will be discussing these points. Okay, sometimes they only might ask test strategy in which you need to tell like, okay, what kind of testing you will be performing. For example, volume testing, performance. Actually, you will segregate your testing like functional, performance, and security. Okay, so these kind of things you will be segregating. So then you will be creating all the testing. What kind of testing? For example, under functional, you have component testing, smoke testing, and this system testing, UAT testing. Under UAT, you have alpha testing, beta testing, right? So all this is all theory, man. So you know how to score marks here. So you can score here very good. So under performance you can do volume testing, endurance testing, spike testing, and load testing, stress testing. Okay, under security maybe a hell lot of testing you can do. So that kind of things you will be explaining to your interviewer. So basically in test strategy, how much test coverage you are providing, we try to achieve the 100% test coverage, but although it's not possible, but in our uh, testing we actually try to achieve that, so that any scenario from the testing should not be missed, and which create a problem to the end customers. Okay, so your idea should be to not deliver anything faulty to the end customers. Okay, so something like that, we have this test plan. All right, so this document is finished. Later, as a second point which I would like to discuss is not in the test planning, but there are few sites which will be very helpful when you're going for the QA 1 or QA 2 interview round in Amazon. So basically these websites are Career Cup. Okay, so Career Cup will provide every round questions which is in Amazon. These questions are being asked very frequently, so you can get the idea, because we signed the NDA, so we cannot tell you what exactly the question I was asked at the time of my interview, or somebody is going to ask to you. That is quite confidential, but these are some sample questions. If you prepare from these kind of questions, then definitely you will get a fair amount of knowledge, and I'm pretty much sure, 100% sure, that you will not fail in your Amazon QA interview questions. Okay, interview round. So this is Career Cup, and another one is like there are a lot many questions. There are related to test planning and debugging, coding questions, debugging questions, test planning questions, and another website is this one, Tech Beamers. So from Tech Beamers you will actually get a little bit theory and a little bit test planning related, but I would suggest if combinedly you will see these two websites, and then you will be good. The link of these websites I will be giving in the video section. You can basically check this out and get maximum from it, and I'm pretty much sure this will help in your interview process. All right, so, or probably how you can search is, whenever on the Google you will type Tech Beamers or Career Cup Amazon interview questions. So this is a keyword, Tech Beamers Amazon interview questions, then you will definitely get these websites to be popped up. You can right click, and possibly you can open all the links and go one by one and test your knowledge. Okay, so for example, as is, if I go through go one link, write a test case, search plugin drop down, search text, something like that. Okay, so lot many people has already answered this question, so maybe if you're new, you can look these answers and create your own thinking process. Okay, how these questions can be answered.